starting off intro straight away, yeah? With me, Alex.
Calvin.
Pops.
And Space too.
Today, very special guest, yeah? Would you like to introduce yourself?
What's going on, guys? I go by the name as Blackman the Traveller, but my real name's Amir.
Okay.
This one's been in the works for a minute. I think we did try plan something a while ago. But it ever came off too tough. But that's what we're going to focus on tonight.
But yeah, that's the one's there, man. That's the one's there. But how's everyone's week been, man?
It's the start of it.
Always.
It's the start of it.
Like last week,
Yeah,
sorry.
okay.
It's been a while. What, 2 weeks since we've seen each other on that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What's the space? Where's the music coming?
Don't get on to me, man. It's coming, innit? It's coming. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you know.
When's your bars dropping? You've been talking about dropping bars for years.
I'm retired from the rap game.
You're retired? Yeah.
Before you even started.
I
That's not how it works,
bro.
bro.
I listen. I heard Donda. I was like, no, it's alright. Still, I'm good. I'm alright.
What? Is that how you feel about Donda?
Yeah, I think I'm Donda over CLB. What's everyone else saying?
I think it's too early to speak.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's too early to speak, but my thing is, I just ain't really been taking a mini like that. Do you know what I mean? They're both very long projects. I'm not in the mind state for it, but obviously the production on Donda's going to be a different level. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's it, man. Eminem, what you saying?
I'm alright, man. Literally just been networking, staying positive, and thank you for letting me come on your podcast, guys. I appreciate it, man.
It's cool, man. It's
Thank
cool.
you for making time for us.
Listen,
No, that's alright, bro.
Yeah.
Networking, obviously, you guys are young black kings, and I think we should all network together, put the egos aside. It's all about networking so everyone can grow. So that's exactly what I'm about.
Cool, man. So, like, what's a day to day for you?
Day to day, fuck. My day to day life is basically finding out new ways to make raw, authentic content, because that's what I specialize in. So that's my day to day thing.
What's that process like?
The process,
Yeah.
in terms of what?
Like you say, like trying to find out how to do it. Like, how do you do you draw on inspiration?
So basically, I'll be honest with you, like the only person that, it's going to sound a bit weird, a bit rude, like my mum obviously inspires me, but the only person that pop inspires me is the person that died 2 years ago, is Nipsey Hussle. Just by the way his journey and the way he came up to be a successful person, not just a successful person, but a leader, you know what I mean, a family member and someone to inspire his neighborhood. So when you got someone like him in another part of the world, in America, we don't have someone like that in the UK in terms of, you know, putting stuff in the community, empowering, you know, the local people. So I'm trying to do something like that, but just through traveling, if that makes sense. Because I think traveling opens people's eyes and mindset at the same time. So to answer your question, to get new content, I'm always looking into certain stuff that a person of color has not done or a person of color wouldn't do. When I mean a person of color, that represents people like us, black people, Asian people, mixed race, whatever. So that's my daily thing to find new content, bro.
So, what would you like say your like occupation or someone else, like, what do you do?
So basically, I work in hospitality. So I work in the kitchen as a chef in one restaurant, but that's my occupation for now.
Okay.
But what I want to do full time is travel around the world, not every country, but to certain countries where people of color wouldn't go to, or countries that the media will portray in a negative way.
Yeah.
So that I want that to be my full time occupation. But at the same time, also I got a podcast as well. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the podcast is basically to put, let's say, people like you, young entrepreneurs that don't get the recognition that they deserve. So let's say, for example, your platform, it's not that big, but then there's a platform that's really big. Let's say, for example, I don't know, like maybe like 3 Shots of Tequila or 90s Baby or Chucky. Them people there, big up them, they're already established. But people like us, we're not there, if that makes sense. So I'll make you guys come on my platform, speak about what your podcast is about, what you guys are, for you people to inspire the youth then. Because at the end of the day, the reason why I made a podcast is because people like us, with the next ones us up, if that makes sense. People that I've already mentioned before, they're already established, but we're coming up. But the way to come up, you have to network with the people, you know, with other people. So that's why I started a podcast as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to go into like the first one?
Or if anything, I think just before that even, I did check out your page actually. I think there was like a little clip where you were giving a little brief of like your background, where you're from. I think that would be, if you could just give us a little snippet of like you as a person, and before even the traveling, and before like working as a chef and that?
So basically, my mum is from Uganda. My father's half Tanzania, half Rwanda. So big up them, East Africa. And I'm born and raised in Newham in East London. That's originally where I'm from. That's all I know, Newham. So yeah, I'm born and raised in Newham. I'll break it down, but I don't want to give too much information. I was hanging around with the wrong people. And then I got caught up in certain situations about life. I skipped death numerous amount of times. I got stabbed twice. And then, yeah, man, Newham ain't no joke, bro. And then, obviously, when that was happening, I met my partner randomly when I went to America in 2014. So I flew out to America with my cousin just to escape life. So when I went there, I literally just flew out there just to see life in a different perspective. And then obviously I met my partner, whatever, bang, 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 came back to England. And then I was going through certain issues with certain people in different areas of where I'm from. So I thought, okay, I need to change my perspective about life. And then I just left the country in 2017. Yeah.
It's never too long, bro.
Yeah. So
Where did you leave to?
I went to Australia for 2 years, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was that? The spiders and that.
Yeah, Australia, you know what, I went there, I'll tell you a story, I didn't even go there with a lot of money. Because to go basically Australia, they do working visas, man, not a lot of people know that. So I thought, okay, I had 3 choices, Australia, Canada, New Zealand.
Yeah.
So the reason why I chose those 3 because they're far from Europe and no one can catch me. I know it sounds a bit silly. Yeah, no one can catch me, but no one's gonna book a flight to go and do.
Right there, don't go them places.
Yeah. So I went there, but you need to have, I think, £3,000. I must have had like maybe £1,500 in my bank. And then for 2 weeks, we couldn't get a job, so I flew out. So basically, I flew from London to Argentina because my partner's from South America. From South America, we met a family, whatever, and I flew out to America to Australia. It took me 2 days to get there. So within the first 2 weeks, we went to Sydney, couldn't get a job, nothing. The racial discrimination was deep. People just looking at me like this. Most of Australians are racist. That's from my 2 years experience living there. But some of them are open-minded. So when I was there for the first 2 weeks, it was just like, oof, like it was hard looking for a job, whatever, bang, bang, bang.
Is this like central Sydney or like?
I stayed in the east, so I was not far from Bondi, near the beach, yeah.
Okay.
So I stayed around there. And then, yeah, man, then I got a job after 3 weeks. I started to understand the Australian lifestyle. And then, yeah, man, within 2 years in Australia, that was the birth of Black Man the Traveller, Australia itself, the country. Because I met people from all over around the world. Then I lived in a farm for almost 1.5 years over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So what were you doing on the farm?
I was picking watermelons. It sounds weird. Yeah, I was picking watermelons. I was picking cucumbers, zucchinis, carrots, you name it. I was picking it.
So you're living there and working there?
Yeah. But you get paid to work in a farm as well. Yeah. But I've seen crazy stuff, bro. I've seen snakes go past my foot. Yeah. I've seen spiders. I've killed a brown snake with my hand. Okay. Yeah, it's Australia's dangerous, man.
Yeah.
I see all the pictures and I'm just like,
yeah.
Don't know if it's worth it.
Is this a real place?
I don't know.
No, you guys should go, man. You guys should go.
Yeah. I've seen like what is it? I think it was a eagle or something, or a bird come down and then get eaten by a spider.
In Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And it was obviously viral, and people were like, "Right, I'm not going to Australia."
And you know, it's true. Anything in Australia can kill you. It's what people say. Yeah, like, bro, like the smallest spider, like even if it's a spider, you think, oh, that's not gonna do nothing, bro. One bite, kalas, you're gone. So you got to, Australia's like, it's a crazy country, bro. Yeah, you got to be careful, man. But it's beautiful. Overall, it's beautiful.
So following your journey, after Australia, did you go straight back to the UK, or did you? No,
so what happened is I left 2017. I got to Australia in 2018 January because I spent a month in Argentina. Yeah. So I spent 2 years straight. I was trying to find myself about life, you know. I didn't want to come back to London, to be honest with you, because I thought London's a shithole, you know. Surface swearing, but London, you know, it's...
I can swear this,
okay, yeah. So basically, like London's a shithole. Like I don't want to stay here. And then within the first year, there was a girl, shout Loretta, but I'll probably said this in so many podcasts. She actually kept on DMing me on Instagram, and she was like, why don't you start a YouTube channel? You know, you should travel around the world and start a YouTube channel. So I was like, you know, I'm not too sure. And then she was like, oh no, you should do it because obviously you're the first black guy that's living out there in Australia and you're the first black guy that's traveling to certain countries that we don't do. Maybe you can make some money, maybe you can make history. So I just ignored it and I told my partner, and my partner's like, check it out if you want to. So I must have typed black British travel bloggers. No male people came up, it was mostly females. So big up the girls, like big up the sisters that are doing it. And then I must have typed black travel bloggers, most of them were American, like African Americans. So I just got into it. So literally my street name was called Black Man back in the day. So I just added their traveller just for marketing and niche wise. And then I started to travel last year, January.
Okay.
Yeah. Since I left Australia last year, January, and then I travelled from January until mid-November-ish, yeah.
How are you finding it back in London then?
It's different. It's different, guys, to be honest with you. In terms
of different how though, like it's been like a couple years?
Yeah, for me it's different in terms of gentrification's hit my part deep. It's different in terms of there's a lot of poverty. I know it sounds bad. I've seen a lot of poverty, especially in London. There's a lot of youths that don't have role models. So the music is playing a big influence. There's no youth clubs for people to go to after school. So London, the UK in general has changed.
Yeah.
It's got its bad side and it's got its good side. So that's what I can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned like going to other countries. I think we have in our notes that just your experience of racism in other countries.
Yeah.
Like examples of, because you've been to like many countries.
Yeah.
Would you say Australia was pretty bad? Like
Yeah.
what have you experienced? Like,
I think Poland was one of the worst places that I experienced racism. Yeah, because
sorry, before you answer, can I ask like a more broad question? Like, what is it like being a black man in these countries? Not just like if racism is the only way that it affects you, but just like sorry, go on.
Say that again. What is
like? What's it like being a black man in these countries? A
black man in this country or the countries I travel to?
In like what you're saying about Poland, for example.
Poland, yeah. So for example, in Poland, when I flew out to Poland, I went to Poland last year in November. I think I can't remember. I just thought, let me just go there. It was just a bit spontaneous because when I came out to the UK, I was traveling in and out, but obviously the lockdown was restricting me to travel. So I went to Poland for 3 days, from Friday to Monday or something like that. So I flew out. I went from London Stansted to Warsaw. As soon as I got to the airport in Poland, the ladies looked at me like this, like the immigration lady, and she was like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "London." "Okay. What are you doing in Poland?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know." Just like, I had to be real. She's like,
I must have went on.
And she was like, yeah. And she was like, "Huh?" I was like, "I don't know. I've just come here to film in it because I had my camera on me, so just to make everything look legit." She was like, "What do you do?" "YouTube." "Okay. Welcome to Poland." Looked at my thing, and then I came through. When I went through immigration, my God, the amount of people that were staring at me, it's like they've never seen a person of colour. And then I was asking...
They probably haven't.
Mate, it was...
My sister worked in Poland.
And how did your sister find it?
She's never said there's any racism though. She's never said that, she abused anything like that.
No, like, I'll tell you stuff. For example, like when I got there, I was asking people for a taxi, people laugh, like not laughing, but they were looking at me, saying certain slurs in their language. So me, I've got this thing, whenever I travel, I don't speak English. I always learn the basic words in every country. So let's say, for example, when I go to Argentina, I'll learn the basic words in Spanish. If I was to go to Brazil, which I've been, I'll learn the basic words in Portuguese. The reason,
like hello.
Like hello, how are you? Excuse me, or like where can I go? Basically, the reason why I do that is to show respect. Because I think when you go to another country and you're speaking English, you're not being I think you're showing no respect, if that makes sense.
100%.
So I'm saying, it's like, for example, like when the white man comes to Africa, let's say if they go to like, I don't know, like Ghana or Nigeria, yeah, you can speak English, but speak their lingo. The people back home, they're going to respect you more because at least you're trying to understand their culture. So that's what I do when I travel. So yeah, I must have jumped in the taxi, and then there was a Ukrainian brother, and the guy just hugged me. He's like, he's never seen a black person, and he was showing me love. But when I was in Warsaw, there was one day, I think it was a Saturday night, I was trying to go to a club, and I was lost. And then I remember I was just walking, and then one Polish guy just went boom, he just barged me randomly. So I looked at him, I said to him, "Brother, you okay?" And then he's like, problem, like, and I'm like, yeah, fucking problem, like, bro, like, you just barged me. And the guy's like, kurwa. I'm like, yeah, kurwa you. He said, kurwa? I said, yeah, kurwa your mum. So I think, hold on a minute, I'm not even in London, I'm in Poland. So I'm thinking, hey, what I'm saying? But obviously, when you have that mentality, and obviously, so you got a black guy and a Polish guy kurwa means bitch in Polish, like just saying bitch, and all the Poles are looking at me opposite the road. So I'm thinking, ooh, but then within 2 minutes, I'm not gonna lie to you, within 2 minutes, 2 Polish guys walked across the road. I thought they were gonna intervene to help me. And they were like, kurwa problem. I'm like, yeah, kurwa problem. This guy just barged me, blah, blah, blah. But then they were all together, they were friends. And then the Polish police opposite the street, they never even intervened. So then I realized, okay, woo, it's gonna be a bit tough because there's 3 of them and there's 1 of me. I'm not gonna lie to you, these Polish, they're built a bit different. And 2 of them were quite big. So I thought, oh no, man, I'm gonna get beaten up. So then thank God there was a guy standing next to us, he spoke a bit of English. And then he asked me in English, what's the problem? I said, no, bro, there's no problem. This guy just barged me for no reason. And then the guy was talking to him in Polish, and then he was saying the reason why they'd done that is to test the waters to see if he was going to fight or not. And obviously he's like, because of your colour of your skin. And I was like, wow. I was like,
to snuff you for no reason,
so I was like, so I was confused. So I've suffered racial discrimination in Poland. So when that happened, the Polish guy said to me, just walk off, whatever. Cool. I've walked off. I was looking for the club that I was going to. I tried to get in the club, the security guard put me to the side. He said, no, da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, okay, cool. So then I've just stood there because I wanted to, because this club was the only club that plays like hip hop music in Warsaw, in Poland. So even after like 5 or 6 minutes, the guy called me over. He said, excuse me, what do you want? I said, I want to go to the club. Then he's like, where you from? I'm like, London. He's like, okay, 1 minute, come. So I was not going to get into the club, but because I spoke that I'm from London, they've let me in. Because obviously when you go to certain countries, when they think London, they think money. So yeah, I suffered discrimination in Poland like that.
Sorry for having to step out real quick.
That's alright.
But okay, so we've hit like the racism bit. Now, in other countries that you've been to, I know you've been to like a couple Asian countries. Just places in general. You said you want to go places where black people usually aren't. Yeah. In some of those instances, when they see you and they want to take like pictures and stuff, do you see that or feel that as racism, or just a thing where it's like, you know what, it's a new experience for everyone? The same way, if you had seen something that you've never ever encountered in your life, would you not be like somewhat amazed? Like, how do you take that on when you experience that?
I don't see it. In the beginning, I saw it as racism because I went to Vietnam last year, and since I got to the airport, I went, because whenever I travel, I always buy the local SIM cards to make sure that I've got data, so I don't rely on Wi-Fi. And then one lady just grabbed me, and she just took a picture, and I was like, what? So I was like, what? So obviously but then she just kept on, so I just moved the phone to the side. And I said, 1 second, like, I understand you want a picture, but let me just get my SIM card. And after I got my SIM card, another lady comes and just the same thing. And then I realized, okay, in those countries, I don't see people of color. So people are very intrigued about where you're from, your background. And then I remember when I was walking in Hanoi with my partner, because she came with me to Vietnam, people just kept on harassing us, like picture, picture, picture. So it got to one moment, I went on Google Translate and I wrote in English, if you want to take a picture with me, I'm charging like £10. But that's like, I don't know, like 20 or 100 Vietnamese dong. So I had it screenshot on my phone. So when someone tapped me picture, I'd be like 1 second, and I'll just do that. Some people paid me money to take pictures. Some people didn't. Yeah, bro. Man, you need to hustle.
But I
didn't make that much. But the reason why I do that is because, first of all, you don't know where those pictures are going to. They could be doing witchcraft, or could be taking a piss out of you. So if you want a picture with me, I don't mind, but you need to pay at least. You know what I mean? But to go back to your question, I think it's not racism, because those people in certain countries where they don't see people of color, they're enlightened of where you're from. That's why they do those type of stuff. I
think because you were in Burma. You were at the temple. You wanted to go up the stairs. Did you end up going up the stairs?
I ended up going up the stairs, but I kept getting harassed.
Okay.
Right. Kept getting harassed because they were like photo. And Burma's a beautiful country as well, bro.
What is your religious background, may I ask?
I'm Muslim.
Okay, traveling to countries. Wait, is Burma a Muslim country?
No, Burma's, I think it's they're Buddhists. The majority are Buddhists.
So traveling to all these different places, do you feel like there's ever been? Have you had any like different like spiritual encounters? Do you feel like you've ever had, or is there anything that's ever changed your like perception or enlightened you a bit? Maybe not taking you away from your faith, but maybe just, if anything, like giving you a different outlook. In that regard.
When I was in Burma, actually, I went to a monastery. I don't know if you guys know what a monastery is. It's like where monks and Buddhists go pray. So I must have went to one of the biggest monasteries in Southeast Asia. I didn't know what monastery was, not until I met some random couple in another city, and they told me to head up north to this monastery, and they have this special event. So I went there, I took like a bus, it took me like 12 hours, 13 hours, 25-hour bus journey, it was mad. I was there, then I went to this monastery, and the way they were praying, and the way they were like singing, and then with all the instruments, it felt very spiritual, if that makes sense. Yeah. So at the same time, I was educating myself because I was understanding different religion backgrounds, different people's beliefs. Vice versa, when I went to Thailand, I went to a temple as well, and they were praying. So I think when I go to different countries, I'll start to learn about different religions, because in England they don't teach about religion like that. Mm-hmm. They just teach you about Christianity and Islam and maybe Catholics, but they don't teach you about Hindus and maybe Jews and that type of stuff. Okay. Yeah.
Do you feel like learning that has changed you?
100% it's changed me, bro. It's traveling has opened my mind. It's made me more humble in terms of I appreciate the life that I have over here, because really and truly, like what we're doing right now, the certain black people can't do this back home. They don't have the facilities to be doing this. So what we're doing is like we need to understand that we need to be grateful for the things that we have, if that makes sense. So it's made me more humble, and it's maybe learn more stuff as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuff about like yourself? Or
just like about life in general, about how people live, and just about different cultures and beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got a question actually.
Yeah.
What kind of, because you've come across like a few different cultures, innit?
Yeah.
What kind of, would you say like there's like a common theme with all of them? Like with all of, like, would you say there's something that ties like everybody together, or like each culture is like their own different kind of?
I mean, I think from my experience, every country that I've been to, each culture is different in terms of hospitality, in terms of like food. And for example, when I went to Turkey last year for 3 weeks, and I was meant to go just for 2 weeks, but then I had an argument with my ex-manager and one of my ex-head chefs. So what happened is I was meant to go for Turkey just for 2 weeks just to travel. So I ended up staying there for 3 weeks, and then I was going to travel from the south of Turkey all the way to Syria. So the reason why I wanted to go to Syria, to the border between Turkey and Syria. I wanted to film the Syrian refugees. The reason why I wanted to do that is to show people how they're living, how, you know, they've been affected by the war, blah, 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 blah. So this was going to be a sick journey, the first black man to go through certain neighborhoods. Of course, it was going to be dangerous, but I don't care. So I was going to go there. But when I was in Turkey, I ended up in some random person's house. I don't know what happened, but I was filming. This was like in Cappadocia. And then the man, I remember, I think the guy had like a gun or something. And then he had a dog. And then he's like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "England." And I was like, in Turkish, abone, that means like subscribe in YouTube. And he's like, "1 second." And then he put his thing away. Then he got his dog. Come. So, but this is on YouTube. I didn't capture the gun thing. So anyway, I've gone into his house, and the guy showed me around his farm. And the language barrier was a bit difficult. Obviously, he's not understanding what I'm saying. I'm going to Google Translate. He's just saying yes in English. It was a bit weird. But then the guy gave me free tea. He showed me around his farm. His partner was there. And you don't get that in England, you know what I mean? Yeah. Vice versa, I went to some random person's house when I was in Ankara. I was just walking, filming, and some random people said, "Come to my house." I was like, "I'm not too sure." They're like, "Nah, come. Like, fuck it, I just took the risk. I walked in, they gave me tea, they gave me food. This is on my Instagram and YouTube. So this is what happens when you travel to different countries. And when they don't see people of color, they're very intrigued about you. So I'm saying, and obviously there's, you know, security issues as well. Like, you got to be careful, you got to be open. But I think I've traveled to so many countries, and every country has its own culture, and every country has its own way to deal with foreigners as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, and when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Because England deals with foreigners a little bit differently.
I want to ask you guys a question. Would you guys ever go to a random person's house abroad?
No.
Why?
No, man. I think for me, it's just like...
but I think it depends on the country, though.
All right, what country would you go?
I think it's very, very situational.
Go? What country wouldn't I go?
Yeah.
In general?
Because you said it depends on the countries. Yeah. What country would you guys go?
Ukraine. I want to go Ukraine.
Why?
I blame the media. Because I remember watching when was it the UK, the Euros was in the Ukraine, and I remember seeing them man fighting in the forest, and I was like, "Yeah, if we catch you, man, like it's on." And
you serious?
Like, yeah, it's time ago.
Yeah.
A documentary, and I was just like, I'm alright. This is a country I wouldn't go to.
Okay, so you said because of the media. What happens if you go there and everything that you've seen in the media is false?
Of course, that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Life is, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the media, what I saw.
Yeah.
Nah.
What about you?
I think based off like just common sense, most Eastern European countries I might not go to, and then obviously Australia just because of I can't do insects like that. I'm really for real.
Where you from? Where you from originally? Where you from originally?
Jamaican Antigua.
Well, there's insects back
I know.
home.
Listen, I haven't been back home like that, innit? But
yeah.
I can't do it.
What about you, Bo?
Yeah, no war zones. Nowhere that's known for like aggressive racism. And yeah, no spiders. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't see like I don't feel like I've got like a restriction like you, man, innit?
So you're more open.
Like
you're open to the extreme racism.
No, this guy.
This guy won't even go certain motives.
When you're there, yeah,
it's
like why not, innit? Like I don't know how you man have travelled. But I feel like when we travel, obviously it's a lot more touristy this time.
Okay.
Obviously, I think when I went to Morocco, I wasn't always like I wasn't in like the heart of it or in the proper raw places in it. But obviously when you're in the market and stuff, it's still like touristy. But when they're like when they're showing you hospitality and stuff, you do feel kind of like intrigued, innit?
Yeah.
So like, I do feel like in the moment, if someone's trying to invite me in, I'd think about it. Do you get me? And
but would you go? Or like,
I think I would.
Would you be hesitant? Like, would you thinking,
definitely hesitant.
oh man, them like, should we?
Definitely hesitant.
If I was more than one person, then possibly I'll go in.
You thought there's
then we'll go in.
Let's say for example, us five are on holiday. Let's just say like we're in Argentina. I'm like, man, them come over to Argentina, whatever, and then we're just walking randomly. You've got your camera, I've got my camera, and we're just doing a little blog. And then some random people like, yo, hola, come to my house, come film. Would you guys feel safe to go to that person's house?
If we're 5 man deep,
Then
yeah.
But don't forget, you're in South America. You're not in London.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Would you like?
But I feel my odds. I'll feel more safe.
At
Because
least
there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
At least 2 of us are surviving. Whatever happens.
But where's the other 3?
Say again?
And the other 3 are we dead?
No, I'm saying worst case scenario, at least 2 people are getting out.
Oh, okay.
The other 3 we don't talk about.
Enough to get help.
No, I'm saying with their
lives.
lives.
Innit? So it's like when I went to the States, basically my sister was meant to come with me as well, innit? And her hubby's over there, innit? But it was a thing where it's like she got denied because she'd been there bare times, and I think there was madness going on in it. So it was like it was just meant to be me and my mum going at that point. But obviously, because of how distraught my sister was, my mum's like willing to stay. But I'm like, I still got this ticket. Do you get me?
Yeah.
I've never met my sister's man because she's been back and forth to America working, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's cool.
Whereabouts in the US was this?
New Orleans.
Okay,
but
south.
He's from he's from Oklahoma, innit?
Okay.
So the family are a bit like bit old school, conservative, this and the other. But so essentially, I'm gonna go stay with someone I've never really met. Maybe I've just spoken to him over the phone, but I've never really met man like that. But I'm like, fuck it, like
might as well.
Like yeah. So I've gone there. The hospitality that he showed me, and then when I've met his dad as well, like the worlds are so far apart. But it's like even the conversations that we had, it enlightened to that experience, innit? So that's my thing, saying when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. Do you get me? I was asking, I wanted to go to the shooting range and that. Okay. I'm still pissed that I didn't, innit? So next time, once the borders open and you're
gonna go,
yeah, because like I was even the other day, I was thinking, you know what, I miss my sister, you know. Yeah. I mean, you know, we're just tired of like England. I'm like, I just want a ticket. Like I've been working from home all this time, stuck in my bedroom. Like I want to do something different. So I think that's why I'm saying I'd be more inclined to than these men all saying no. Yeah. But
I didn't
obviously,
say no. I didn't say no.
Did you say no? I just said certain countries I would avoid.
But what you done? You know what thing you just done? Yeah. What everyone in this room hasn't done. Maybe what me and you done. You came out of your comfort zone, bro. Because if you think about it, like, because you just said something important. You're sick and tired about London, blah blah blah. So you've gone to another country where you've never met this person. Yeah. So you've taken your time, your effort, you come out your comfort zone to go somewhere that's different. So because you've done that, that should give you, you know, the time and experience to go to another country and do the same thing. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, you're educating yourself, bro. Of course, it's a bit risky, going to another country, going to next man's house, but you don't know the hospitality that you're going to receive from them. That's why sometimes I do go to certain people's certain people's houses in random countries just to experience and to show people, look, like, there's more to life than just fucking going to a tourist trap. Because, for example, when I travel, I hate going to touristic places. The reason why is because, let's say, for example, when people come to London, they don't come to Leighton, they don't come to Hackney, they'll come to Stratford, but the furthest they go is Westfield. Take a picture, boom, 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 and then leave. But you got to come to the hood. If you're going to come to Stratford, come to the hood. Understand the real part of London. If you're going to come to London, come to Brixton, Peckham. That's got, you know what I mean? That's real history. But when people go to certain countries, they go to London Eye, Buckingham Paris, Eiffel Tower, Champs-Elysees in Paris. In Brazil, the Christ Redeemer. They don't go to the favelas. So I think us as black people, people of colour, when you travel, you should come out of your comfort zone, what you done, and experience life in a different way. And I think that's what we lack of doing in terms of travelling. So yeah.
Alright, so obviously he's got his country. Everyone's got their country that they won't go to because of the media and about.
You won't go because of the snakes. I know what you say. You said spiders. Yeah.
Alright. Now, obviously you've been to very different places, but is there anywhere that's I'm not getting there, off limits?
I'll go anywhere, bro.
Okay.
I'll go to Somalia, North Korea if I have to.
Okay.
I've got no fear because.
I was gonna say that. I feel like you have no fear.
I got no fear, bro.
Alright, obviously, because
you shouldn't, because you said you've almost had near-death experience.
I've had near-death experience, even abroad. I'll tell you a story, guys. Yeah, I think you guys are probably the second podcast that knew about this. There's one podcast that I said. So basically, what happened is I must have went to the Bahamas in 2015, I think. I can't remember. So I must have went there for 1 week. So I was living in America and I had to renew my visa, my ESTA visa, because I must have overstayed. So I went to the Bahamas for a week, and then what happened is I was with 2 random white guys. This is when I started doing hitchhiking. I didn't know what the fuck hitchhiking was. So I remember like we was in downtown Nassau. That's it. It was downtown Nassau, yeah. And then I was with one guy from Australia, one white guy, and one white guy from Zimbabwe. The white Australian guy says to me, right guys, we're gonna hitchhike. The other white guy knew what that was. I was like, what's that? He's like, oh, we're gonna jump in people's cars. I'm like, bro, I'm from London. We don't do that stuff. He's like, nah, man, like, you're going to experience it. I was like, bro, you do not understand what you're telling me. You're telling me a black man to jump in another black man's car. Like, no, thank you. Anyhow, we jumped in some random person's car. So the guy stuck out his thumb. And then the black guy was like, where you going? The guy's like, downtown, hop in. What the fuck? So we jumped to the back. Literally, so there's 3 people, 1 black guy, 2 white guys. We jump at the back of this guy's. I remember in the Caribbean, they got a lot of 4x4s in it. Yeah. So we jumped to the back of the guy's car. I remember the guy had a spliff and then he passed it amongst all of us. I'm like, wow, this is a crazy experience. I'm just smoking, catching a vibe. And then 2 days in, we've gone to a petrol station to buy some water, because I remember in the Bahamas, most of the off-lighters shut early. So we went to the petrol station, we got some water, we're coming back, and then there was 2 people following us. So I've clocked them from far, and I'm like with the white Zimbabwe guy, I'm like, bro, I think these 2 guys are following us. And the guy's like, nah, man, it's okay.
How busy was where you were?
The shop was busy, but the road was quiet.
Okay.
But the reason why I clocked is because I'm rolled in it, and I can tell by people's, body language. So I've turned around. And every time I turn around, they look down, and they were in the same petrol station with us as well. So it's weird how, because plus in the petrol station, someone must have asked us a question, where we from? And I'm like, London. And the other guy said, Africa. But the white guy from Zimbabwe has got very post action. So the way he was talking, they're thinking money, money, money. So anyway, we walk in, whatever. I'm like, bro, I think these guys are following us. The guy's like, no, they're not. Right, cool, whatever. So we kept on walking. So something's like, mate, turn around. So I've turned around 2 minutes later. Then these people are quite close, because in the beginning they were quite far away. I was like, bro, I think these guys are gonna try to do something. He's like, nah, man, it's okay. We're in the Caribbean. I'm like, oh, man, this guy doesn't have a road mentality. I thought, okay, cool. That's all right, cool. So we kept on walking, turned around, then they're very close. I'm like, bro, these guys are gonna do something. Either we cross the road or either we confront them, because we're not, back home. Like, I'm not in England, you're not in your rich fucking person's family's house in Zimbabwe. So we kept on walking. Literally after 2 minutes, someone was like, yo. So when someone said,
you're right, bro.
Just some water.
Yeah, I'm good.
So literally 2 minutes here, someone was like, yo. So when someone said, yo, I've turned around, and then someone just chucked a bottle of glass on my hand, and then the glass must have cut my hand. And then I've looked down. So once I've looked down, I've looked back up, and then I've just see the 2 guys, they're backed out long machetes, and they're like, what the blood clot, give me your money. So literally I've just froze for like literally a couple of seconds. I'm like, fuck. And I've got a pizza in my hand, I've got a bottle of water in my hand. I'm like, run. So I'm running with a pizza and a bottle of water in my hand. And then the other white guy, he was quite chubby, so he's running, he's out of breath. He's already dropped one pair of his slippers. I'm like, hurry up, man, hurry up. So I'm running, the guys are chasing us, so I've chucked the bottle of water down, but I want the pizza. So yeah, it's weird, isn't it? So I've kept on running because I used to do 100 meters, so I've got stamina. So I'm running. But then I don't know where I'm going. I don't know, because I don't know where the hostel is. This is like 2 days or 3 days in. But that white guy, the Zimbabwe guy, he's been there for almost 2 weeks. So he knows where to go. So I'm like, bro, like, where are we staying? He's like, just keep going. Bro, it's a long road. There's no certain parts of the road don't have street lights. So gradually I'm like, bro, we have to split. So we must have split, and then I've cut down the left, the guy's gone straight, and then two of them, one of them's followed me, the other guy's followed the other guy. So I've chucked the pizza on the floor, but I remember I was wearing some Next Jordans that glow in the dark. So I've jumped over some next man's garden. When I jumped over some next man's garden, there was barbed wire, so I've cut my hand, and I've cut my belly, so blood's dripping out. And then the guy chasing with the machete, he tried to jump over, but he couldn't see me because it's pitch black. But my trainers are glowing, so I'm trying to hide. But when I've jumped over, I could hear like a dog like grilling. So I'm like, fuck. So I've seen a pit bull, so I'm moving to the right, moving to the left. I don't want to get bit by the pit bull. So at the same time, I don't know whose garden I'm in. So then the guy's putting on the light, the blood clots in my garden. So there's too much stuff happening, bro. So when that's happening, I've tried to jump back over because I don't want, that guy might have, you know what I mean, he might have a gun. So I've tried to jump back over. The guy that's chasing me with the machete's already fled off. So when I jumped back over, I just hid in the bush. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I was scared, but I was scared to death. I stayed there for literally like 10 to 20 minutes. I've jumped back on the road. I'm running on the high road. I'm trying to memorize where to go to my hostel. Like, my shirt's half ripped, I've got blood. And my jeans are ripped, I've got blood. That's by jumping over the barbed wire, over the fence. And then we've got to the hostel now, then the police were there. And they were like, there's a group of people in downtown Nassau in Bahamas that are robbing tourists. Have you guys encountered with them? I'm like, yeah, man, I almost got killed by a machete. So that was one of the most crazy experiences that I've had traveling abroad. Yeah.
That is, I highlight that's
Bahamas,
insane.
you know?
Yeah,
You see the Bahamas on TV?
Nah.
How much was that ticket to the Bahamas as well?
I flew from America to Bahamas, so it was cheap. It was like 1 hour, because I had to renew my ESTA visa. Because we get like an ESTA visa, I think it's for like 3 months or something, I can't remember. It's like a 3-month visa or something. But I was there for like 1 week. I'll never do that again. That's one place that someone's I'll never go to the Bahamas and behave like that, never.
Would you go to
Bermuda, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go.
You're not scared of
the triangle?
the hoax and all the rest
I'll
of
go. I was actually meant to go to...
Do you think?
I believe it because I see a lot of stuff on YouTube. I was actually meant to go... In January, I was meant to go to Russia, actually. I wanted to go to Russia for 2 weeks. To have experience what it's like to be a black man in Russia, but the visa was too expensive, so I didn't go. And that would have been something interesting because obviously Russians are very weird when it comes to people of colour. You know what I mean? Especially us people, and they chop bananas at the football games and start making monkey noises. So I wanted to see if that was true or if that was not true, but the visa was too expensive.
How do you react when has anyone ever thrown a banana?
No, no one has. No. I've had someone call me a nigger before in Argentina. I confronted the guy, I told him, bro, you can't behave like that. So that's the only racial discrimination in terms of words that someone's said to me. Yeah.
In that situation though, what happened? Do you just laugh in your face or like is he like apologetic?
No, he was basically I was with my partner downtown Buenos Aires and we're trying to go somewhere, and then the guy was like nigga. My partner's already gone because we're on pedal bikes, so we're trying to cycle somewhere to get to somewhere. Turn it around and I just like I'm just ignoring it. He's like, nigga. Like, there's two of them. I'm thinking, did this guy understand the word that he's saying? But don't forget, the word Negro came from Latin America. Not a lot of people know that. It's not American, it came from Latin America. So so obviously the guy was like, oh, nigga. So I was like,
I'm good.
Nah, drink this water, bro.
I'm good.
You sure?
I don't need water, I'm good.
You sure? Oh, okay.
Arguing.
No, you sure it's just water?
No, I know what's going on with me.
Oh, okay. I hope you're good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so basically the guy was a nigga. So I've gone towards him, I've confronted him. I speak a bit of Spanish. I'm like, hola, ¿qué pasa? He's like, oh, no, todo bien. I'm like, bro, like, ¿qué pasa, loco? I'm like, oh, what's the problem, crazy? Then he's like, oh, no problem. I was like, who you calling nigga? He's like, oh, no, eso. Eso means you. Eso, nigga, negro. I'm like, brother, I'll test your. I said, brother, I'll test your jaw. So I'm talking English now. I'm like, brother, I'll test your jaw. Do not ever call me a nigger, negro. I don't know you. Like that's discrimination. So my partner's come back, and the guy's like, oh, lo siento, like sorry in Spanish. Oh, lo siento. I didn't know that it was bad. So that's the only verbal racial discrimination I've ever faced.
Okay. Quick one, just on Argentina. I feel like that country does have a very weird racial history. With black people. I think there was there might have been a thing with all people there and then they got rid of them, but I can't sit here and be like that's exact fact, innit? With your partner being from there, has there ever been any struggles with that or? Yeah,
I went to one restaurant in Buenos Aires and there's a couple black people in Argentina, big them up, they're from Senegal. I don't know how they got there, but it's weird. Argentina, man, I don't know how they got there. But I went to one restaurant in Buenos Aires. It was like a very bougie, whatever, those type of areas. And I wanted to eat some food, so I just wanted to try some food. And then there's a lot of black people in Argentina that come from Senegal, but they sell like selfie sticks and walkie-talkies. Like, I don't know if you guys been to Barcelona. Spain, so for example, when I see them, I embrace them. Mm-hmm. When I've been to Barcelona, for example, when I've been to Barcelona and Madrid, I'll go towards them and I hug every single one of them, or at least interact with one of them, because I see myself as what happens if I was in a situation. So I'm saying, and I think us as people of colour, we shouldn't ignore one another when we travel abroad. We should embrace one another to show that unity. So every time I was in Buenos Aires, I was saying hello to all the black people. Then all the Argentinians looking at me like, what the fuck? Like what's this guy doing? So I must have dressed a bit weird. And then the waiter said to my partner in Spanish, do you know this guy? So I said to my partner, don't respond. I want to see the guy's reaction. The guy's like, hey, ¿qué pasa, loco? Are you okay? I've just ignored him. I've sat down. I've just dressed like a normal person. And then he's like, policia, like police. I'm going to call the police. I'm like, so I've just ignored him. And then he gave the menu to my partner. And then I said to him, excuse me, can I get the menu in English? Then the guy just froze. He's like, hey, where are you from? ¿De dónde es? I'm like, Londres, London. Oh, London, okay. Then he got the menu. So he's straight away money. That was the second discrimination that I faced in South America. A lot of Argentinians are racist because they don't see interracial relationships. That's a fact. If you go to Brazil, there's a lot of black people, white people, but in Argentina, because it's mostly Italians and Spanish and Jewish people. So, yeah.
Wasn't it, I don't know if it's Argentina, wasn't it like either the Germans or someone fled into Argentina?
Yeah. It's Argentina, bro.
After the Holocaust.
Yeah, there's a lot of Germans there.
Yeah.
A lot of Germans there. Will you guys ever go to South America?
Yeah, definitely want to go. Obviously, it looks nice. Yeah. Weather, there's a tick. It's like you said, like with Argentina, there's certain countries that you're like, yeah, and you're like, no. Like for example, Brazil's cool. It's Peru, like mostly like white, or is it? Isn't it?
I've never been Peru. I've seen people from Peru's mostly like Spanish, Latin people. But if you want something that's got more history, more culture, I would say go to Bolivia, because I've heard Bolivia is very interesting. I would say go to Argentina as well, Brazil. You know, South America is a place that is very raw and untouched, and I think we should go there because there's a lot of countries that have similarities and culture clashes, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Okay. Food.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
I saw on YouTube you were in markets.
Yeah.
You've seen some crazy stuff.
Fuck. Yeah, man.
What's the most surprisingly tasteful dish that you had in one of them places?
Tasteful dish. I would say where was I? It's gonna sound weird, I was in Vietnam and I must have tried snake.
Okay.
That tastes like chicken.
How was it? Grilled, fried?
But it was weird, man. I must have went to this restaurant. And then the reason why, because there's one YouTuber that I watch and he must have went to this restaurant, and then snake is like a Southeast Asian food delicacy. So I thought, let me try it. So I went to this restaurant. And when I got there, bloody hell, they've never seen a person of colour. Everyone's looking at me. Some people are
in Vietnam?
No, but because I was in Hanoi, downtown Hanoi. I went to the suburbs. Okay. This restaurant was not in the touristic part. Right. Man, the way they were looking at, some people were even screaming, like, come, man. It was mad. So I must have got there.
Like you loved that.
I loved it, but it was no, bro. I loved it, but then there's a time when you're thinking, all right, I get the point. Now, you know what I mean? I've get the point. You've never seen us, but like, now let me just do what I got to do. So, yeah, they taught me there. And then the guy took me to the back, language barrier, I went on Google Translate, and then they're like, okay, cool. So the video's on YouTube. So they took me to the back now, and then there's like a wall. Inside the wall, there's different doors. And inside these different doors, there's different type of snakes. And then the guy was like, come. I said, okay, no problem, because I've seen a snake. In Australia, I've held a snake before. So he must have opened one door, put his hand in one door, and all I hear is like a huss sound. I'm like, bruv, this guy's a madman. So he's put his hand in, and then he's like, come. Okay, cool. He's like, come closer. So I've gone closer. He's like, come put your head. I said, no way, my friend. So I've got my phone, I put on the light. He's pulled out this big snake. It's a cobra.
Oh my.
And he's like, eat. I said, no. He said, why? I said, no, too big. The bigger the snake in Vietnam, the more money it's going to cost. The smaller the snake, the more cheaper it is. So he's opened so many doors, and he's pulled out this one snake that I'm familiar with in Australia, and it's a yellow belly. A yellow belly is not poisonous. They're tree snakes. When they bite you, it's just a dry bite, so you're not going to die. So he's pulled out this snake. You can see it on YouTube. So he's pulled it out, then he's walking around, it's bit him, and then he's chopped the head, then he's skinned the whole snake, and then he's got the heart's pumping, then he's put it in a tequila shot. Yeah, and then he's...
Did you drink that?
Yeah, of course. And I don't drink alcohol as well, so he's like, try it. I'm like, he's like, try it. I'm like, fuck this. So you can see everything on YouTube, then the heart's actually moving in the glass. So, bro. So the heart is like, maybe it's very small, so it's moving. And there's a bit of blood, and they put it in like a small glass tequila shot, and he's like, drink. So I backed it. I remember it was moving all the way. I swear to God, no lie.
He's taking the piss. Like, he's having me on.
Nah, literally, bro, no lie.
The heart was beating.
Celebrity, get me out of here. That's what they got you. Bush sucker trials.
Bro, the heart was moving. So while the heart's moving inside my throat, I'm thinking, raw. And then after that, they gave me different type of food things, like snake dishes. So they gave me snake salad, that was disgusting. They gave me deep fried snake, that tastes like chicken. They gave me snake soup, no way. I said, no way. Bro, you're gonna have to kill me. It looked disgusting, it smelled disgusting. And then they gave me snake spring rolls. Now that was tasty. And then they gave me some sauce, which I didn't know what it was, but I just tried it anyway. And then they gave me the intestines to eat, and I said, I can't do that. And they were being so consistent. No, try. I said, my friend, I'm so sorry. If I eat that, I'm probably gonna die. And they're like, oh, you try, I try. I said, okay, you try, then I try. I'll try to be cheeky. So the guy was not going to eat it. I said, okay, no, because if you're not going to eat it, what makes you think? You know what I mean? And then there was another day I was walking around Hanoi and I was filming, and I discovered that they killed dogs in Vietnam. I was walking around Vietnam, and then I discovered a dog market, which was sad. But then at the same time, I was confused. But then at the same time, I understand in that part of the world, they eat those type of animals. Yeah. It's
like here, dog is a man's best friend, but there, that's a chicken.
Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna eat it, man. The lady even offered me. I said, no way, man. And it smelled like disgust. It smelled bad. Yeah.
Snake, they don't let none of that go to waste.
No, they eat anything over there in Southeast Asia. Would you guys ever try snake?
The deep fried one.
That's
tasting like chicken.
You recommended it.
That tastes like chicken.
Yeah, but the soup and the first one, the tequila shot is amazing. I can't. What?
You gotta get mad when I'm bringing out Jaegers.
Shut up.
What about the snake's heart?
That's in the tequila shot, right?
Yeah. What about snake spring rolls?
Yeah.
I'll definitely.
And the salad? The soup?
I don't eat soup here, so.
Like if it's like deep fried, I can get away.
No, the soup was not deep fried, bro. It was like probably boiled and.
Yeah, soup. I'm not a soup person in general.
Yeah.
Like there's only some soups I can eat.
Can I ask you guys a question? Would you guys ever hitchhike?
Yeah. I've done it in the past.
Yeah. Where?
I was part of do you know what jailbreak is?
No, what's that?
It's a long story, but it's a university program they do.
Okay.
Basically, we had to hitchhike, get as far away from the uni as possible within 36 hours.
Oh.
And we went. I think we first got a ride in Amsterdam, and then we got one in Rotterdam. Some guy drove us to Belgium. Yeah.
To Belgium?
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
I know that story.
Yeah.
Have you never told you this?
No.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 different countries. Wow.
Yeah. It honestly, it was not as nice as it sounds.
Wait, so what uni were you getting away from?
Warwick.
So Warwick, you went to Belgium
Well, I'm confused. You chat from England to Belgium?
No. Did I say Belgium?
Yeah.
You said Rotterdam and then Rotterdam to Belgium.
And then you had to hitchhike from Amsterdam.
Yeah, sorry, to Belgium, yeah.
Oh,
and then we got
how can you chat from
Yeah.
University?
Yeah.
And then you ended up in Belgium?
Yeah, like, okay, the full story. No, we didn't win. No, the people that won, they had like emailed airline companies like months in advance asking for free tickets.
Oh, that's...
So they
And
knew.
they got free tickets?
Yeah. The thing is, you gotta understand, and the thing is, it's one of the questions I wanted to ask you, yeah? Because you gotta understand, like, for 4 blonde girls, they can just go to an airport and get a flight.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
females,
it's like,
innit? The females,
like,
free.
Yeah, and it's like me and my boy Zach, yeah. I tried to persuade him to do it.
Hold on a minute. You said for free. You said yeah.
Yeah.
They went to an airport and they got a flight for free.
No, a flight. I think they went to Germany.
How did
they just asked? They just said please.
They said please.
And this is the big. This is what.
So you got us people paying for flights and these girls going to the airport.
See, this is the thing. Like, this is
and life is.
This is why I wanted to ask you. Like, obviously you did explain why, but I did want to ask you why you call yourself Black Man the Traveller.
Yeah.
Because the friend that I went with, he was like, the only way he's going is if we call our team 2 black guys versus the world.
Okay.
Because it's like, it's obviously very different for 2 black guys to do this versus like two white girls, isn't it? And like, even the first car that we got in, we were like, we made a comment something like, yeah, we've been doing this for like 4 hours, however long we've been doing it, waiting to get picked up. And she was just like, yeah, it's probably because you're 2 black guys. It's like, yeah, you're probably right.
Never going to sugarcoat it.
Wow.
All right, so I know you're on the raw, authentic thing with your content and stuff, yeah? But let's say you had the opportunity to, like, let's say Vice picks up one of your travels or something, yeah? Do you think that would affect how your journey is going to go to a certain degree?
In what way?
Obviously, if it's going to be like a studio that's maybe like producing something, obviously they would have some input, but do you think having all that quality and stuff is going to impact what you can do? Do you know, like, so the same way that you're going around Bahamas and just doing what you're doing and you end up in someone else's like backyard, do you would that be something you'd want to do, but do you feel like that would compromise you as a person?
I think the first thing I say, if any company wants to work with me, I believe in 2 words, and that's equity and ownership. If I don't have equity and ownership in my masters, I'm not going to network with you. Okay. And if you're going to try to because I used to do acting, not a lot of people know that. I used to go to drama school, the same one that John Biega went to, called Identity Drama School. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
Yeah, my sister does.
Big up your sister, man. So basically, when I went there, they taught me a lot of stuff about equity and ownership. Don't get typecast. So if these big companies see me, because obviously, really truly, they see all of us as a $sign. Because when you watch entertainment, I'm not being rude and I'm not racist. When you put on music, it's black people that's making the most noise. When you look at entertainment and fashion, it's us that's making the most noise. But it's the white man that has the money and they have the equity. They have the equity and the ownership. We don't. So I'm saying, so when you look at hip hop and whatever, if you look at all the mega producers, all the rappers and the females singers, it's us. So I'm saying, so then when you look at travel content, it's mostly white people. So when they see like people like me, or maybe if you guys are going to travel, hold them in. How the heck are these guys doing it? Where are they from? No, but they're black. Do you know what I mean? Wow, we can actually make money off them because they're doing something that no white man's doing. You know what I mean? He's actually hitchhiking, or he's going to the favelas in Brazil. The white man's doing it, but they got security or they're paying people off. I'm not doing that. So if they come in, if I don't own my masters, equity and ownership, I'm not interested. And I always want to keep my stuff raw and authentic. Because when these big companies come, that's how they change you.
You just don't want to sell out, basically.
Don't want to sell out, and no money is worth more. You know what I mean? Is worth more than me. And at the end of the day, when you guys blow, because I believe you guys will blow, you got to earn your masters. Because whatever price they put down on you guys are worth more than that. Yeah. Never accept the first deal. I don't know, that's just what I believe in. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Appreciate that, man. I think, so going back to your, I think you asked with hitchhike before.
Yeah.
Or would we do it? Obviously, Ati's already done it.
Yeah. Big up you, man. You're brave.
Thank you.
Country to country, I've never done that. I would love to do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In this country, abroad, obviously I know it's a different experience. Like Ati was saying, it's taking like 4 hours to get a cab in it. So it just depends on. I think my experience at that time in it, like if let's say I'm trying to save money, then I think when we were in Dam that time. obviously there's transport everywhere in it, but we were in a bad situation in it. If things if it went left, you would have to 100%.
So you guys would definitely hitchhike.
Yeah, I think so.
So if I say because I'm leaving in a couple of months, if I like cool guys, if I do like I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago, doing like a hitchhiking challenge, and then the winners might get maybe 5 bills, 4 bills. You got to hitchhike all over London, but you got to get to a certain spot to another spot. Would you guys ever do that?
What, London?
Yeah, I'm not in London. No.
What? Why?
Because you know what it is. I feel like part of the reason none of us have hitchhiked is because London isn't really the place you do. Like me personally.
But you can hitchhike in London.
Say again.
You can hitchhike in London.
Yeah,
Can you though? Really?
Yeah.
I think so.
I've hitchhiked in this country about 3 months ago.
Did you do it in London?
I started from Colchester all the way to Newcastle. It took me 1 week.
No, but London though.
I can do it in London.
Because there's so much transport. They're looking at you like, why do you want to get in my car?
But
I think it just depends where you decide to hitchhike.
Yeah, but I think
what zone are we talking?
Anywhere in London. Let's have an example.
If you do zone 6,
if I say, all right, you start off at Stratford, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to hitchhike from Stratford all the way to maybe Bow Church. So you could stop on the high road and just stick out the phone and be like, look, I'm trying to get to blah blah blah.
You could do that in one ride though.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's if the person will let you. Cause remember, the hitchhiker might say, "Oh yeah, get out here. Like, I'm not dropping you all the way there. I need to go down here."
I like the sound of the challenge personally.
But of course, I'm just saying you start off at London, maybe Stratford, but then the end point maybe might be central London. So you got to come off at Bow, then from Bow you got to get to, I don't know, maybe Whitechapel, and then from Whitechapel you got to get to maybe, I don't know, Marble Arch or something, and then the winners can get this. And then in each stop you got to make a video, like I'm here with blah blah blah, this is my man. You know what I mean? It's just something special because I actually hitchhiked 3 months ago from Colchester to Newcastle. I did cheat. I did take a train because we did get stuck from Ipswich or something like that. So I had this thought because I wanted to try to hitchhiking around the UK because no one does it in the UK. Hitchhiking was a big thing back in the days in the 60s and 70s. A lot of people told me that. So there's this random Indian guy who must have hit me up on Instagram. He was like, yo, bro, I want to be part of your journey. I'm like, all right. If you want to come, but just know that it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be different. So he's like, yeah, that's it's gonna be weird. He's like, yeah. I'm like, bro,
are you okay doing that with like a random person?
I don't care, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's done in someone's house.
Yeah, I don't care.
So,
man.
you know.
So I've done it with him. It's on YouTube and on my Instagram. I'll show you guys the thing.
I think I saw that video.
Yeah, and then what happened is basically then the guy must have made so he sorted out accommodation in certain cities, and he used a platform called Couchsurfing. I've never used that before. So Couchsurfing is that you pay membership. It's like £10 a month or something like that, and you sleep in random people's spare couches or beds.
Okay.
And after you leave the next day. So he must have done that. But I use the same platform, but I use homestays. So I stay with families in different countries, which is more secure and you get to understand their culture. So this guy must have you good?
Yeah.
I said, and then this guy must have booked a random accommodation with a weird family in Norwich.
So when you say weird, like what we say?
But this family was weird. Have you seen this one?
I saw I saw you two like waking up. Did you have to share the bed?
Yeah.
I was watching the tape. I got a work call afterwards. Mate.
Bro, I'll tell you what happened. Yeah, so we got to his house. These lot were very weird. The man was very touchy, and I was like, oh, bro, you're one of those ones. I was like, mate, I'm aware. And then the wife came, and she was like, oh, you're very handsome. I said, thank you very much. I didn't want to compliment her because the husband's there. Yeah. And she's like, oh, have you ever been to this event in America? I'm like, no, what is it? And they're talking about some nudity, sex, swingers thing.
I was about to say, are you not scared that they might take you as like...
Did you see the way the guy was looking in the video? Have you seen him?
I got to the point where you lot are waking up. And then this woman started calling me. I think he's even like, oh, why are you speaking so nice to her? Because I was in Discord, but I didn't even know I was in the chat. So he's heard me. I've heard him talk through the mic. So I'm going to talk through the mic, and 2 people can hear me, but different combos. So I've had to mute him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't know I was still chatting to him.
Yeah.
I had it on.
Yeah.
And then so I didn't. I stopped, and then we had to.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is the guy is all touching me, and the partner's touching me, and then she's asking me about weird questions, and I'm like, nah, don't.
What about the other Brad?
But the other brother was scared. Like, because, He's a random Indian guy that I met on Instagram. Yeah, his English is okay, but he's not understanding what's happening. So I'm texting him on my phone. Yeah, so I'm texting him on my phone on what I'm texting him on WhatsApp. I'm like, bro, these lot are swingers. He said, what is swingers? I'm like, so I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, bro, you know. And then the guy was like, you have. I think that's when you saw the part. I was like, oh, the guy's like, oh yeah, you got to share a bed. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right. So behind the scene, I said to the Indian guy, look, guy, bro, I'm not gay. You turn around, you sleep that way, I sleep this way. Just, I know the legs are gonna touch because the bed's very small. Just don't do nothing funny. He said, no, okay. I said, brother, literally, please, innit? And obviously, we're talking. I FaceTime my partner. She's just laughing. She's like, oh, you're crazy. You're da, da, da. And then the lady starts talking about sex stuff, and then the convo starts getting a bit weird. So I've switched the conversation. I said, look, guys, just check out my YouTube channel. The Indian guy had done this because he wanted to start his Indian own travel YouTube channel, whatever. So he was using this as a chance to travel around the UK with a random person. But yeah, when we stayed in that house, it was very weird. We left at like 7 a.m. But I was so happy to leave. It was a very weird experience that I had in England.
That sounded like some get out sex.
Yeah, bro. It was. I'm telling you, if you guys had that experience, it was weird. And the guy was he was touching a lot, doing all this. Yeah,
it sounded like the guy was the one trying to initiate it.
Mate, it was. Yeah.
Bro, that tests you, man, because that could go left. You could just start getting vexed. You could just be like, but don't touch me. You know what I'm saying?
At the same time, I'm filming. You got to keep professional, and I have to network. So yeah, man, we actually hitchhiked around the UK, and we made it to Newcastle within a week, and we met some crazy people. We did encounter some racism on the way to Newcastle. I remember in Durham, I remember in Darlington, people telling him to fuck off, you packy, da 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 da. Yeah, man, it was. The more north you go, the more racist it gets. You know what I mean? But obviously, I defended him not by fighting, but through verbal words. I was insulting other people, and I tried to explain to them, you can't call someone a packy, you can't call someone a Indian curry or whatever, because what has he done to you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But obviously, people up there, like I always said, no one is born racist. You're only going to be racist by your peer group.
Yeah, what you take in.
What you take in. So, yeah. Have you guys ever encountered any racism in the UK? Or if not abroad?
Where have I been? You know what it is, yeah? People say Italy and stuff's mad racist. When I went with him, it was calm, but we, again, like touristy, innit?
Yeah.
Nah, every time I've gone to Italy, I've never experienced racism as such. But you know, like when it's racial remarks, so like when I was younger, they'll be like, oh Ronaldinho. And you're like, what?
Somewhere,
when I went to Italy. They're like, oh, Ronaldinho. I'm like,
it's a bit racist. It's a bit,
like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, you're not saying something mad, innit? Because that to me is like, Ronaldinho is a legend. I don't care, innit? Yeah, but it's still like, rah, like, what, because I'm black.
What about the police? Have the police ever like...
Nah, like, anytime I've gone, I've been with like my mum, my sisters.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I don't want to say, like, when you travel with women of colour, it's different than if it's just black man going on holiday, innit? Cause I feel like, in a weird way, they sexualise women of colour, innit? In most countries, innit? So they're just happy to see black women because they fetishise them, innit?
No, that's right.
So it's just one of those ones there where I feel like they're just like, they're not really going to bother me, innit? You know?
What about you? Have you guys ever experienced discrimination abroad or in this country?
Not really, to be honest.
In this country, no. Not direct, but I think the closest thing to like discrimination is obviously like trying to get into certain clubs.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
And that was like, I was quite young, I think like, well not young, but like 18 in it. So that was like a wake up, like okay, like obviously going from school to college and then outside is different from them areas, innit? So, but yeah, nothing direct, you know. It's been, I think it's just because around the East, innit?
I feel like when there is racism, you don't realise it until afterwards.
Yeah, that's
like,
nothing.
It's always like a remark, but then you're like, hang on. Like, it's never like, oh, yeah, you nigger. It's always just like, oh, yeah, you probably do that because of this. You're like, wait, what did they just say? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you start to realise after.
It's the subtle stuff, the underlying tones and what they're saying. Other than that, like abroad, it's just like, it's the touch and go stuff when you're in a tourist area. Oh, Jay-Z, Beyonce, oh, guys, come by my this, my that. And they'll call you whatever to try sweeten you up. But I think in Spain, when we're going into the shops, there's the looks and that, or people are like a bit surprised, but other than nothing like outward or nothing in it, because they know you're a tourist. When you're in touristy areas, they know you got money. They don't want to upset you like that.
The only thing I got is when I went to Greece, Santorini, was like when I used to walk around the restaurants, like they want to pull you in, but then they'll start speaking French to me. I'm like,
there must get very French people that go like,
bro, must be innit? But I'm like, I speak straight away, and they're like, oh no, England, okay, come in, but straight away it's French, and I don't know.
Big up the French people, they're crazy, man.
Maybe they might think you're from the Congo or something.
It's Sissoko in them, man, isn't it?
Côte d'Ivoire, it was somewhere around there. West Africans. I want you guys a question. What made you guys want to start a podcast?
Well, like it was when, like 2019.
No, it was earlier than that.
2018.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like, honestly, we like, there was like a year between us deciding to do it and
doing it.
Yeah.
I think, you know what it is? I feel like everyone is kind of a bit egotistical in like their friendship groups, innit? So you know when you're there with your boys and you're just having banter and you're having fun conversation and the vibes is flowing, innit? It's a thing where it's like, oh, these kind of memories, like, or it's like, we should record this, or imagine if this was like something other than us, just like our experience, innit? So I think then obviously when you start seeing like the podcast scene popping, and it's a thing where it was kind of like a gold rush because so many people have done this kind of thing, innit?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, we could be them, we could be this, we could do that. And it's like, we're all friends, we're all authentic. It's like something we could all still do together. Like in school, you'd kick ball and this and the other. When you get older, everyone falls out of certain kind of things. This is like that bonding that's still that thing that keeps us together as a group from what we've known each other since year 7.
Wow.
Now we're here now.
Big up you, man. So, and what's the end goal for you guys? Like, what do you guys want to achieve within this podcast industry? Sorry about the questions, but I like to ask.
Nah, it's cool. I think like I'd say I'll go from like when we first started to now.
Yeah.
I think looking back on what we've done, I think we can all agree on the content that we've actually provided in terms of like we've got like it's spoke about our experiences, people around us. We've had like funny content, serious content. We've had contents like, for example, we had Ezekiel speaking about photography, and then we've got yourself, and we've got a friend called Grace, she's a model. So like loads of different topics, and we've touched on many different topics. And I feel like from the start to the finish, or like to where we are now, we've provided the content I feel like we wanted to push out.
We want to learn about different experiences and also show that to other people. But also
showcase,
give them us who we are and our perspective on things, where we come from and what we do. And I think other than just this, I do feel like we don't kind of want to be like shoehorned. We do want to kind of like do other things as well. So and I think that is the highlight of what the world is becoming. People aren't just stuck to being, I don't know, actors or musicians. Like, you can kind of be whatever or whoever you want to be, as long as you like do it, essentially.
And I think the name Blue Ticks as well, that will, wherever we end up, that will always be like our thing. So if we do something else, the first thing we're gonna think of is, we need a name for this. Oh, Blue Ticks. Blue Ticks.
That's a catchy name. Blue Ticks.
That's our thing now. That's
Hopefully you guys, and I think you guys should be successful. Just keep going, man. You know what I mean? Just about keep going. Life is not always gonna be sweet, bro. There's ups and downs in life, but just be consistent and just try to network with as many. I wouldn't say podcast people, but like I'll say young entrepreneurs, because all of us are young entrepreneurs. We've got the mindset of an entrepreneur, but we don't have the financial needs. So as long as you guys work with people that's in the same energy as you, and you grow together individually and together, you guys don't know where you guys can be this time next year. I'm telling you, I always say that to people. I think like if you keep going, even through your ups and downs, just be consistent, and then you don't know what can happen. It just takes that one viral content that you guys have, can boom. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
And that's how life rolls these days. So.
Alright, one more question.
Yeah, bro.
Dead or alive?
Yeah.
But not Nipsey Hussle. If you could travel with anyone, who you get with? Like
Dead or alive?
But you want like a crazy wild experience. Obviously, I know Nipsey Hussle is
the
guy you look up to. So, but I want to rule him out because I feel like I love each other as well. I feel like it would be a mad experience, but let's say someone else.
Dead or alive, wow.
Yeah. Anything that would be...
Who's alive right now? Yeah, that would inspire me. You see me, I don't really watch TV, you know. I hate this Love Island boost.
No, that's it's not even got to be a famous person.
Yeah.
It's about time someone else hates Love Island.
I hate, see, so,
what do you hate about it though? Because I feel like someone's so open, why do you hate it so much?
I don't watch TV, bro.
Okay.
So I don't watch, the reason why I don't watch TV because it brainwashes people. And when you got stuff like Love Island and Big Brother and that, what am I learning from that? Apart from fake relationships and, you know what I mean? That everyone's on Instagram, Love Island. Like, not be rude, when you see when you watch Love Island, and you watch a 2-hour documentary on Netflix, see within that time you're using, you can use that time to build blue tick. You know what I'm saying? So right now, what we're doing right now, we're growing, like we're networking. So after this, we're gonna exchange like social media networks. But just imagine like if we didn't do this today, I'm just saying, maybe you might be watching Love Island, you might watch a TV series thing, you might watch a film, but you're not using your time productive. That's why I don't respect those shows that's not gonna empower you. They're just brainwashing you, bro. Single people, half of them are not even single anyway. And a lot of them just want to make money, but it's a quick come up. That's what I'm saying. But to answer your question, dead or alive, dead person would be Nipsey. A live person right now, who's funny that I find funny?
Wait, what's this to go dinner with?
No.
Just like
Travel. You know what? I would say that Somalian guy, the English guy, Chunks. Yeah, seems a bit interesting.
Yeah,
I think I might travel with him. I want to see what Chunks is like to go to Somalia, like on a proper Somalian girl. I'll go with Chunks, and I'll probably go with Wiley because she's just mad.
Okay. Alright.
Wiley,
that's a good shout.
Yeah, Wiley, because Wiley looks like he just don't care. And you know what? The third person, it's gonna sound very weird, but I'll say ZZ Mills.
Okay.
Only because I think ZZ, I think in camera she's got this persona. Because she's ZZ, but I think behind the cameras, I think she's a different person. So I'd love to go somewhere like Spanish Town, somewhere like in the ghetto side of Jamaica or Caribbean, and see how ZZ is gonna react. Yeah, I think ZZ will be interesting.
That would be interesting.
I can see a Black Man of Traveller interview with ZZ Mills.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. You think you can handle it?
I'll tell you one thing. See ZZ, I've got a lot of questions for her. Don't worry about ZZ. I've got a lot. I've got a lot of questions for ZZ. I want to ask her, why does she put down a lot of male people? I don't want to be rude. I think some of the interviews she puts a lot of negative stigma amongst us brothers. So that's one of the main questions I want to ask her. But I think an interview with ZZ, I'm going to keep it real and authentic. If that happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. So, yeah.
No, I could see that. I could see you even on the Half Cast podcast. I could see you on a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, but you and Chunks in Somalia.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah. Chunks, if you're watching this, let's go Somalia, bro. Because I'm not scared. I'll go, bro. Forget about Al Shabaab. We can even buck up with them guys over there. I'll go. Yeah, man, we go. I'll go Somalia. I'm gonna ask you guys one question. What's your visions?
My visions?
Yeah. Sorry if that's a deep question, but I don't know.
It's not.
What's your visions? Like, what's your visions?
To answer honestly, like I have specific plans, but I don't really have I try not to hold on to a vision like that. Do you get me? Because the pieces are always flowing.
Yeah.
And once it comes together, I'll know when it's there.
Yeah.
And then we move on to that. So, I mean, it's a very broad question.
Yeah.
Do you want to, what do you mean specifically?
Alright, what's your vision in terms of, let's say blue tick in general then?
Blue ticks.
Yeah, blue ticks.
Yeah, I mean, just keep getting better. Like, I feel like Alex said, like we had an idea to put out a certain kind of content, and we've done that. And the more we do that, the better we get at it. And obviously, like, it's a grind and whatever, but the better we get at it, the more successful it will be.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes, but like, hopefully, innit?
And like,
that's my.
I think, for example, we do. Well, for me myself, is looking at examples like yourself, like networking. You do it very well, and I think it's based on the fact you have like no fear, like no like you don't care what people say in it.
Yeah.
So that helps you so much in your content as well. So it's just that for us as well.
Yeah.
That help us bring us up.
I think one thing that today, I think if you even inspired anything just for us in general, is probably take more risks and put ourselves more out there. I do feel like, there's plenty of room to grow, and I do feel like some of these questions you have asked actually, if anything, it's challenged us to kind of maybe, I don't know, rethink like where we need to go and what we need to do as well. I think you're the first guest we've had on in a while actually. Because what was this? This is episode 55. Last guest was what?
Bloody hell.
Mo and them, man?
Was he really?
Was it not Mo and them at last guest? Mo and Fager?
Yeah,
55 episodes.
Yeah.
You guys are getting in, bro.
It's almost 2 years, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Or is it 2 years?
Yeah, no, it's 2 years, isn't it? So we've spoke about things like love, heartbreak, fashion, art, this music, like we love it all, innit? So yeah, man, I think put ourselves out there more. I think that's what I want for the future. And I think with how we are in general, anything we even did individually, we'd still try to incorporate each other's minds in it, where we can support. So I think it's team building, man.
No, man, I think you guys are going to be successful because you just said 55 episodes. And what? Someone said 2 years? 2.5 years.
We done the birthday party like half a year ago.
Man, that's an achievement because I think I was on one podcast and one guy said to me, a lot of podcast people they give up when they when they get to 22 episodes or
there's a lot that fell off. Like,
when they get to a certain amount, but because you guys have been consistent, even if it wasn't consistent, but even if you've been consistent within 2 years, it shows you guys are taking it seriously, and you guys are risk takers because you're coming out of the comfort zone. You're bringing in people that's not a regular guest. You're bringing in people that's gonna bring something new to the table. So I respect what you guys are doing, man.
That was initially my biggest fear when doing it in general. Out of everyone here, I think I was the most apprehensive. Yeah. So no, about being on, about putting ourselves out there. Like that.
No, do it, man. Do it, man. I'm just gonna say something quickly. I'm working on 2 things actually. Next year, so basically I'm leaving the country in December, November, and I'm going to be going to Argentina to see my partner because she's there. She's meant to come here, but obviously the pandemic and Boris Johnson and Priti Patel messing around with the immigration things. Stupid people, man. But anyway, Priti Patel, I swear down. But yeah, man, I can't stand that lady. But every time I see her, I'm like, fuck. Yeah. So I'm getting
horrible piece of work.
Oh, bro, I can't. I swear that. If I had the chance, to do an interview, actually, if I had the chance to do an interview, I'd love to do one with her because I got a lot of questions for that lady.
She would dodge.
She probably will. But yeah, so basically, I'm going to South America. I'm going to film in Argentina. I'm going to go back there, but I'm going to film in the favelas in Buenos Aires. I'm going to choose to go there, risk or no risk. I've networked with some people online, so I'm going to go there for maybe one day. Filming the favela in Argentina to show people what it's like to go to Argentina, to show people the good, the bad side. I'm going to try to go back to Brazil because I've been to Brazil before as well. I'm networking with some people that do favela tours as well. So I'm going to go to 1 or 2 favelas and I want to film in a favela to show people what it's like to go to favela and also to open people's mindsets of how people live in a favela, because I think a lot of people, when they think favela, they think gang, whatever. Man, there's more to life like that. So I've got 2 things to do that in South America, and then I was networking with one guy before I was coming here. I don't know if you saw, but there's a guy called Hood Vlogs. I don't know if you heard of him. No. So big up Hood Vlogs. So basically, Hood Vlogs is a guy that travels around the United States of America, and he goes to the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. So this guy's goes. So basically, he'll go to the Rolling 60s neighborhoods where Nipsey's home. He'll go to Bronx, East Harlem, Central Harlem. He'll go to Watts. So basically, I'm networking with this guy, and we're gonna be doing a collab. So Black Men the Traveller and Hood Vlogs together, and he's gonna take me to certain dangerous neighborhoods in America, and I'm gonna film people of how they live, about their culture, their background. So that's another thing I'm working on.
This might be a long shot.
Yeah.
Because you like doing something like that. You should check out Vulandis on YouTube.
Who?
Vulandis. I'll show you his page
afterwards. He's
a photographer. Like he's like in the sticks. Man, like when he's shooting them, they've got their guns and stuff like that, but they're not shooting nothing crazy. But he's like showing their lifestyle, what they do.
I like that, man. That's
I know
real.
you'll love his stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff. But yeah, man.
Vilandis, yeah. I'm gonna check him out. One more thing, and after that I will go to India for half a year for next year. So I'm gonna spend 5-6 months in India. The reason why, because there's an African tribe called the Sahidis. I don't know if you guys have heard of them.
No.
So they're originally from East Africa, and during the slavery they moved over there, and I'm gonna go stay in their village for 2-3 days, and I'm gonna show people how people like us live there in that part of the world. And when I go to India, I'm going to go to the north of India near the Himalayas, spend with a tribe called the Balana tribe, and they are the biggest marijuana producers in that part of the world. So I'm going to smoke some weed with them, and I'm going to do some I'm going to do some filming with them. And when I'm in India, I'm going to be based there for 5 or 6 months, but I will be going to Pakistan as well for 2 weeks, because the African tribe, they live in Pakistan as well, and I want to go to Bangladesh. So hopefully that will be the breakthrough of Black Man the Traveller. And then if I do become successful, I would love for the people that I've networked with, so we can all enjoy it together, and probably might do something when I come back. So those are the things.
A serious plan, man.
Yeah, bro.
How you feel like? Can you? Because they're tribes, isn't it? Do you still have to get like initiated and stuff?
So to get into basically to see this African tribe, I have to contact certain people out there, because you can't just. It's like me just rocking up like in Afghanistan and the Taliban are there. And you're like, bro, like, you either got money or no. So when I go to these tribes, for example, like when I go to tribe in India, I need to reach out to certain people. So I've contacted certain people on Instagram that do travel content, and I've contacted certain Indian travel bloggers as well that have gave me the green light. So when I go to, for example, I'm going to Mumbai, and I'm going to go to the biggest slum in Mumbai where Slumdog Millionaire was filmed. So I can't just rock up there. So obviously I've contacted with certain travel bloggers and tour guides. Look, I'll pay you this amount of money if you can get me in, but I don't have to leave with you, but just get me in, and I can find my way out. So we've negotiated some prices, and so I'm going to be spending one night in the slum. I'm going to sleep over there in some random person's house, and I'm going to document that to show people what's that to live there. But you have to negotiate with certain people to go to certain things. Yeah.
Special for Black
But hopefully, man, just man.
I've got one more. I'm not sure if it's I'm not sure what we've got left on the notes, but you've mentioned obviously you travel a lot of places, based on that culture and showing people what it's really like here. Would you travel somewhere based on like ghost stories?
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Like, are you that type? Okay, because you don't have any fear in it.
No.
So let's say
I've got fears, but I'm not
I hear that. Obviously, I hear that. But
I've got certain fears. Okay. When it comes to traveling, I've got no fears.
Okay, let's say someone told you about some place in
like a witch doctor,
and they say Sweden. There's one house in Sweden that's been reported like bare fuckeries going on with like horror stories. Would you go there? Or is that nah?
I'll go there because I'll go there because I want to see what it's like. But if I'm going to get cast a spell on or something, then
So you wouldn't buck a witch doctor?
In Sweden or in Africa?
No, in Africa,
Would I buck Ooh, I don't know. I would have to talk to my mum.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, Mum, like, is it? Because like she's proper af, and I would have to talk to her. But I believe in I do believe in that type of stuff, like black magic and that. But if I was to buck a witch doctor, I don't know, bro. I wouldn't drink next person's blood or I don't know what they do some witch rituals. I don't know about that, man. I'm a bit. Now that will be a bit.
Yeah, that's. I was thinking.
That's over the limit. Yeah.
Most black people, when it's witch doctors, they're like, nah.
Yeah, that's like obviously no. But let's say like there's a lot of places in America as well. Haunted houses. Would you go to them places?
Nah, bro. Because
New Orleans was a big one.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that, man.
Okay.
I'm more. Okay. That is
spiritual stuff. You're like nah.
No, you know it is. That's still raw and authentic, but. Man, that's like life or death situations over there. Because imagine if I go there. Let's say, for example, if I go to my mom's country in Uganda or my father's country in Tanzania or whatever, and I go to a random village in Uganda, and then there's a witch doctor there, and they're telling me to drink some next stuff, eat some next stuff, and then they cast a spell. Then the next day,
you're a frog.
I'm a frog, or like I can't pierce, or maybe like I don't know, or like I can't drink water. Yeah. That's down to my fault. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It will be sick for you guys, for the viewers. But, you know what I mean? But they're gonna be like, Black Man the Traveller's a madman. He went Africa to a witch doctor. You know what I mean? That will generate income and views, but that's not what I'm about, man.
Yeah.
And now that's risky. Would you do that actually?
No.
Could you ask that question? Would you?
Because no, but No, because if I start, I'm beginners. Getting me? I'm what, European countries? You've already done that. You're everywhere. So this is like that's the expert level. You know what I'm saying?
But I wouldn't go to a rich doctor. But would you do that? Would you go to a random village in the Caribbean? Let's say Haiti, because I think Haiti's known for that type of stuff as well. Would you go to Haiti?
Nah, because I don't do ghost, man.
What about you?
I don't fuck with that shit, man.
Yeah, definitely not.
Spiritual warfare is different.
Spiritual warfare.
Like, we can have a physical fight, but not a spiritual.
Don't play with life. Life is serious, bro. Don't play with life, man. But no, I wouldn't, bro. I wouldn't.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is there anything else anyone wants to touch on?
No, everything in the
I think we might. Yeah, I think we touched everything. The close.
Any announcements?
No. Come to my show tomorrow when it drops. Yeah,
it'll be tomorrow when this comes out.
Think about it. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's next week. It's next week Thursday.
Right, so
the 16th.
Next Thursday on the 16th of September, Atu is performing. Space 2 is performing. Where are you performing, bro?
It's at Next Door Records in, I think it's Shepherd's Bush. You have to just go onto my profile, Space 2. You already know me and that. Come on.
I got the tickets. With new music.
We don't talk about that, bro.
Yeah, what are you going to perform in the new music there?
Man.
Are we going to get any snippets?
Yeah, it's going to be mostly new music. I'm not here for the old stuff still.
Ooh.
Plus my laptop broke, so I couldn't if I wanted to.
Too much information.
Now, big up yourself, man. Big up yourself, man. Keep doing your thing.
Pops, anything in the works?
I had some good brainstorming this morning, but because of what it is, I can't really. I'm gonna embargo it because there's time on that. There's time on that. Do you know what I mean? But I'll tell you, man, in a bit.
Okay.
I can't.
Kenji.
Well, just made a new post on my It's Kenji's World account. So just filmed a video with Lorraine. She was on the podcast. I don't know.
A while ago.
Oh, a long while ago. Yeah, so she recently directed something. I helped film in, so go check it out. It's in the artist's bio. I think her name is Lila Yin. The song's called Frank. Just check it out, yeah. And if you can't find it through that, if you go to It's Kenji's World, you go to my website, click on music videos, it should be the first one at the top.
Yes.
Jeez, well, big up Kenji, big up Lorraine on that one. Big growth from when she was on the show.
Yeah.
Big them up.
Yes.
Man. Thank you.
Do you have any announcements?
Oh, snap. Yeah.
No, I'll just, big up my boy Raids, innit? Big up Raids. He's an up and coming rapper from Forest Gate in Newham. I would always want to big up the people that's been there for me, so big up Raids. And I just want to say everyone that's doing something positive from Newham, from Waltham Forest, from Hackney, you know what I mean, from Tower Hamlets, from East London, just network together and just, forget the gang culture, because there's life more to than just banging on your block. At the end of the day, a lot of men have never left London, a lot of men have never left Europe. So come out of your comfort zone, you come out of your comfort zone, all you guys are coming out of your comfort zone, you're all doing certain stuff. There's more to life than gang banging. Just focus on yourself, forget about the olders that are still there, and just do what you got to do. That's it. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Amir, for coming down.
Thank you.
I think you started Eyes Fine.
Oh, yeah.
I think you've definitely opened up our eyes and made us think.
Yeah.
Where we're going, man. Which I appreciate. I think that's the first guest that's really made us think. Apart from Rashad was good, but no, definitely, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for actually letting me come on, and I wish you guys success, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, and that's it.
Do you want to set the self timer? So let's get some pics.
Pictures.
Yeah, I can't.
You got.
I'll